Hi everybody. So today I am doing the Disney tag, and if you've been a fan of my channel for a long time, you might remember that a long time ago I did a Disney tag, but this is a different Disney tag, and I'll put a link down to my other one if you want to check it out. That was before I had started my Disney Canon project or my Disney blog or anything. So things are a lot different than they were then, but you still might find it interesting to see what I thought at that point. This time I was tagged by the Lawn Gnome, my very good friend here on YouTube, and he's awesome. And he particularly, I think, he gave all of his answers. This originally was a book tag that was done by Katie Tastic is her name. And I'll put a link down to her tag if you want to check that out. And he answered all of the questions with Disney, and I think he particularly wanted me to answer all of them also with Disney. And you guys know I love Disney, so I'm happy to comply. The first question is, The Little Mermaid, a classic character who is out of their element, a fish out of water. And for that one, I would say it is from Pixar's Ratatouille, I would say Remy. And Remy is different in every way from the tribe from the pack or whatever you want to call it, that he grew up in, from his family, just like Ariel is. He doesn't even walk the same way as they walk, and everything that they think, he thinks differently, and it's just his nature is different. And so I think the characters actually have a lot in common, which you might not suspect just thinking of the two movies. The next I have Cinderella, a classic with a character who goes through a major transformation. And if you didn't know, all of the Disney films that are from Walt Disney Animated Studios are called Disney Classics. So Frozen is a Disney classic, Wreck-It Ralph is a Disney classic, even if they're not old. That can be a little bit confusing. And Walt Disney has 54 official Disney classics, and those are all part of the Disney canon. And there's Disney Toons, there's Pixar, there's everything else. But as far as the Walt Disney Animated Studios canon, it might be confusing if you hear things called a classic that you think that's only a couple years old. That's why. But the one who I decided to pick for character that goes through transformation, I went with Kuzco from Emperor's New Groove. He turns into a llama. It's a pretty big transformation. And when I first heard about Emperor's New Groove, I remember I was in college and I thought that sounded so stupid. And so I actually didn't see it until I was working with the Lost Boys of Sudan, and we're taking them to a movie. And so we took them to Emperor's New Groove, and I thought it was so great. I really, really laughed my head off. So there you go. Okay, the next one is Snow White, a classic with an eclectic cast of characters. And I think that you've got to go with Alice in Wonderland. That's all the movie is literally Alice meeting a bunch of eclectic characters. There's not a strong narrative, there's not a strong linear plot. It's just Alice meeting somebody, and then meeting another, and meeting another, and meeting another, and meeting another. And that's what makes it so much fun, and that's what makes the Tim Burton one such a bummer, because they tried to force this narrative and they got rid of all the nonsense, which is what makes Alice in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland. They tried to add this prophecy in and make it all dark, and hated it. But I love the animated feature. All right, next is Sleeping Beauty, a classic that put you to sleep. I have to go with Treasure Planet. It's really well made and it's really beautiful. I get it. I get why people love it, but for some reason it just doesn't engage me, and I fall asleep every time I try to watch it. Sorry. Okay, the next one is The Lion King, a classic character who had something traumatic happen to them in childhood. That's practically every Disney character, because they're almost all orphans. So they've almost all had terrible things happen to them in childhood. But you got to go with the one who started it all, who started the traumatic things happening to them in childhood, and that would be Bambi. It traumatized the nation, for goodness sakes, for years. But I really think that film is a real product, if you think of it as something from the 40s during war, and that I think it was honestly Disney's opportunity to help children deal with grief practically every child, whether it was a father, a brother, an uncle, a cousin, a friend, somebody lost somebody. And so what a helpful thing for something like Bambi to come around and really address a child, even though it's a deer, a child losing his mother, losing somebody they loved. So if you really think of it from that perspective, I think it actually becomes a really touching thing instead of a depressing thing. Beauty and the Beast, a beast of a classic that you were intimidated by but found the story to be beautiful. And I'm not really intimidated by any of the Disney movies because I love Disney and they're great. I mean, Disney. But I was intimidated to review the entire canon, for sure. That was something that was very overwhelming, but because I hurt my knee and was bedridden, all of a sudden this opportunity came. And I'm really proud of myself for taking a negative situation and turning it into a positive situation, because I think that's hard to do in life. And that's something that I was able to do last year. So, but aside from reviewing the canon, the only other ones I can think of that I'm a little bit intimidated by sometimes are some of the anime films. And I don't know which ones are considered part of the Disney, which Studio Ghiblis are part of Disney and which ones aren't. But I was definitely intimidated to review and watch Nausicaa, just because, I don't know, it's about this society with the big bugs and it just seemed kind of weird. And it took me about 20 minutes to really get into it, and then I really liked it a lot. And I find that to be the case with a lot of Studio Ghibli films, is that it just takes a second to kind of get my Japanese headgear on and get ready for the different culture and the different perspective I'm going to be getting. So, and I love it. It's awesome. Okay. Aladdin, a classic where the character gets their wish granted for better or worse. You got to go with Little Mermaid for this. It's the classic. She gets what she wants, but she has to pay a huge price for it to get the chance to be with Eric and to be human, to be where she knows she belongs. And she thinks she's just giving up her voice, but in reality, she's sacrificing her father. She's sacrificing a lot more than just her own happiness. But she does it, and she gets her wish, and then the story goes from there. Okay, Mulan, a character who pretends to be someone or something they're not. And I am going to go with Elsa from Frozen. Elsa is told that if she is who she is, if she is the person that she actually is inside, she will kill her sister. And so that's why it's different than Ariel, because Ariel's told if she is the person that she feels she's supposed to be inside, if she's her authentic self, she'll just be rebelling against her father. That's a lot less stakes than what Elsa is told. And so I actually think that in a way there's a dramatic intensity to Elsa's suffering, that she loves her sister so much that she will hide who she is and hide from the world because she doesn't want to hurt particularly her sister, but hurt anybody. So, and then of course she lets it go. Okay, Toy Story, a film with characters you wish would come to life. You gotta go with either the genie in Aladdin, for sure, or Fairy Godmother in Cinderella. I want either one to come alive and grant all my wishes. Okay, Disney Descendants, your favorite villain or morally ambiguous character. As far as like laughs, then I go with Ursula. It's so hilarious. I love the voice performance. I think she's great. But as far as just like what I think is the best villain from start to finish, and it's just like the true sociopath in the Disney world, I would pick Scar. He feels absolutely no guilt about what he does to his brother. He's actually kind of proud of it. He doesn't care about anybody, and he's very manipulative in the way that he convinces Simba that it's all Simba's fault and not his fault. And so I think that Scar is the most evil of any of the villains in the movies that I respond to, at least. So that is the Disney tag. I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will put a link down to my blog and you can read my Disney Canon reviews of all of the 54 Disney classics, and I think you'll really enjoy them, and I would love your comments and feedback on any of the reviews. So thanks so much, and I hope you're having a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye. I forgot to tag anybody in this video, and so let me go ahead and tag frequent commenters to this blog, 666 Brago, Right Cinemas, and Creative Thoughts 27. I'll be really curious to see what you come up with. Thanks.